Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to J. Larone Presents, where we talk about facts, foolishness, and black female effery. Now, today's video is going to be Corey Holcomb as he goes in on Stephan A Smith, said the man was capping. You guys know Stephan A Smith was saying that he played basketball at this college back in the day, but comes to find out, seems like there's been some inconsistencies in his story, and we're going to go over that. So y'all hold tight. We're going to go ahead and get into this Corey Holcomb as he goes in on Stephan A Smith for allegedly capping on his basketball origins. All right. So you guys, if you haven't, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. All right. Fair use, fair use.
Anyway, back to the shit. When Cat went on Shannon Sharp's show, in my opinion, it was a way of jumping shit off. And when I tell you shit is jumping off, it is fucking hilarious, some of the shit that I'm seeing on the internet now. They want to do numbers like Cat did that day, but that's not gonna happen. But these niggas is actually jumping shit off. We starting with Stephan A. Hurt feelings for capping Smith.
Oh, so you saw that one too then?
Man, I was laughing like a motherfucker. He let that motherfucker get up under his skin. But Stephan A. Smith got caught capping. Let's start putting motherfuckers on blast for capping. If you capping, you capping. Motherfucker, Stephan A. Smith lied about hooping for Winston-Salem State. It was all a cap. Because when you put that shit in your little memoir book, a puss-ass book, nigga, you know niggas ain't reading that shit anyway. But for them motherfuckers to be trying to get at his ass, they read it. And they caught you up, didn't they, nigga? Because some dude said some shit that I was in agreement with.
Well, yeah, first, I mean, you got to be careful of what you put out there because people will call you on it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you sit up and talk about you played basketball or whatnot, or football or any type of sports or something, people that don't like you are going to research it and try to see if you did that or not. Because, like you said, if you got people that don't like you, they're going to try to look stuff up about you. Just like, you know, being on YouTube. People always, you know, doxing folks because they don't like something they said, so they pull up some information on them and try to, you know, out them on certain stuff. So, yeah, you do got to be careful about that.
The motherfucker get caught, he don't never say, you lying, he get to talk about you. You fat bastard. I can't stand that fat bastard. You can't stand that. He is a fat bastard. Both of y'all the same type of nigga, but he caught you, Stephan A. You was capping. Because Cat Williams said, somebody at industry plant, now that word out there.
Oh, man.
What's the fat nigga name? Damn.
Jason Whitlock.
Bastard name. The nigga said I used to be a friend of Corey's.
Oh, the one with the big eyes?
Jason Whitlock.
Yeah.
This motherfucker caught you up, Stephan A. He is a fat bastard. He looking for clout. All that shit. But you got busted out for lying and said you was a hooper. And you ain't never hooped out your own mouth. After you lied and said you did a hoop for Winston-Salem State. Get your capping ass out of here. We know you an industry plant, dog.
And what Corey Holcomb was talking about, I'm gonna show you this other video about Jason Whitlock calling out Stephan A Smith for capping, saying that he played for Winston-Salem. And there are some inconsistencies because first, Stephen A. Smith said he only played one game. Then they showed a report where he played like 9 games, and then Stephen A. Smith came back and said he played 0 games. So we don't know what it is. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna show you guys. This is Poetic Flacco, and he covered the back and forth with Stephen A. Smith and Jason Whitlock. All right.
Jason Whitlock, being the unhinged person he is, will do a 3-month investigation digging into Stephen A. Smith's past. So Jason Whitlock decided he was gonna do an expose live stream where he essentially take a deep dive into Stephen A. Smith's past and pointing out inconsistencies and lies. He started off by questioning a couple of things from Stephen A. Smith's book.
So Stephen A. is saying that Winston-Salem State, at the end of their basketball season, when they're preparing for their conference tournament, and maybe trying to qualify for the Division II postseason tournament, that they play a game on Saturday, he wakes up the next morning, they're having a scrimmage that he arrives to late in the middle of, and Big House Gaines checks this 6'1", 150-pound guard from New York City who played a couple of months of high school basketball without acquiring any stats or anything, played a month or 2 of junior college basketball without acquiring any stats or anything. He shuts down a practice, checks Stephen A. Smith into the scrimmage, and then, according to Smith's account, he knocked down 17 straight shots in the scrimmage. And Big House Gaines offered him a full scholarship immediately after the practice. I'm reading this, and when I read it, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is a comic book. And this man's calling this his memoir.
Stephen A. Smith's scholarship story is kind of sus. He was playing in the park with some homies, and his homie drove him up to Winston-Salem for a scrimmage on a Sunday, and they checked him in. He dropped 17 threes and was given a full ride scholarship. Now, it got even more sus when Jason Whitlock began to take a deep dive into Stephen A. Smith's basketball or collegiate career and the lies and inconsistencies that came from Stephen A. Smith's own mouth.
Who do you think? What is this?
Nah, this is hilarious. JJ's on the right.
Starting lineup from tonight.
Well, they're not telling.
your dime
What
off.
they're not telling is I only played 1 game because I cracked my kneecap in half. But that's neither here nor there.
That is
Go
neither
ahead.
here.
Walk me through this and walk yourself through it. 1.5 points per game. How do you average that in 1 game?
You can't.
Is there a 1.5 pointer in Division II basketball? How do you do it?
I mean, the only way that happens is if you get out there and you shoot a free throw, and that's it. You only make 1 free throw, but that's just 1 point. You ain't gonna be no 1.5.
But then, bizarrely enough, Jason Whitlock will pull up the receipts of Stephen A. Smith contradicting himself and actually telling his audience that he didn't play any games at Winston-Salem.
Let's get the basketball stuff out of the way. I'm sick and tired of people lying about my basketball resume. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say that I wasn't great, I'm talking about compared to greatness. I was good enough to get a basketball scholarship. I was good enough to get my education paid for with 2 bad knees. They talk about I averaged 1.5 points a game. I saw some article on social media. That's a lie. It was less.
Now, didn't it just show that he had 1.5? Now he's saying it was less? Okay, let's just keep moving, man. Stephen A. full of shit.
Stop it. Get some help.
See that? You didn't know I was going to say that, did you? It was less than that. It's a lie. How about 0? Because I never played, because I cracked my kneecap in half.
But then Jason Whitlock will pull up like a stat sheet from Winston-Salem that shows a Stephen Smith playing 9 games and averaging 1.5 points per game.
But he's now saying he never played in any game because he cracked his knee. Let's put up the image of the 1991 stat sheet for Winston-Salem State University. I think I gave y'all that image of the stat sheet for the 1991 Winston-Salem State. There's a Stephen Smith listed on that stat sheet that says he played 9 games. And I believe it says he averaged 1.5 points. And I believe that's
Gotcha, bitch.
reached the conclusion in that November 2022 segment that like, oh, this is Stephen A. Smith's senior year. These are his stats. Let's put it up. And that's why Stephen A., if you go back and rewatch he looks so uncomfortable.
So it's unclear that he played 0 games, that he played 1 game, that he played 9 games. Who knows? It's just a bunch of lies, bro. And like, it's unclear exactly why Stephen A. Smith is capping, right? But then it moves on from there and it gets a little bit more bizarre. So Stephen A. Smith would bring his old teammates onto ESPN, and Jason Whitlock will point out something very strange about these old teammates.
Man, Phil Hayes, appreciate you, love your boy. Monte Ross, former assistant coach of St. Joe's, former head coach of Delaware. I don't want to tell your business. I can tell now where you're going to be at. Temple University, you're going to be assistant coach at.
Stephen A. Smith is 6'1". Them first 3 guys that he just showed you, he's towering over all of them. Stephen A. played on a midget basketball team, but the last guy that they showed him talking to, Gary Stevens, there's no proof, there's no history that he ever existed really at Winston-Salem State. This is just mysterious. Like, who are these guys? Phil Hayes, another midget.
Yeah, so this kind of bizarre. Like Jason was like diving deep into what Stephen be saying, but hey, you put yourself out there, that's what's gonna happen. But let's finish this up, man.
He is a fat bastard. He looking for clout. All that shit. But you got busted out for lying and said you was a hooper. And you ain't never hooped out your own mouth. After you lied and said you did a hoop for Winston-Salem State. Get your capping ass out of here. We know you an industry plant, dog. You motherfucking talk about black people on ESPN. You do that for your boss so you can have some money. First of all, when I saw you walking, I knew you ain't never hooped. That nigga walked with his pelvic forward. You walk and they pelvic be in front, I don't like you. Hoopers walk with a sort of limp to it because your knees be hurting, all that shit. I saw Stephen A. on the motherfucking NBA court one day. Had on a little jacket and shit that he got with his little money they pay at ESPN. And he was walking with his pelvic forward. I was like, hey, that's a goofy, dog. Peeped it. A lot of motherfuckers peeped it. You get caught. You a plant for ESPN. Y'all have meetings in the morning and they tell you what they want you to say. How they want you to dog out brothers and sisters on ESPN. And the main reason you was mad at garbage ass Jason Whitlock is because you was bust out in front of your colleagues. Your colleagues saw you was capping and they was making fun of it. The awful bitch, Malika Andrews, she was kind of poking at you in one of her things. Stephen A., man, you lying about that, nigga? You lied about hooping, nigga? Your goof ass?
That's
Damn!
terrible. That's terrible.
I used to hoop for Winston-Salem State. I cracked my knee. He sounded like Mike Tyson after that one fight. I cracked my back. Oh boy said, what did he say? Spinal.
Spinal what?
Nigga, get your goof ass out of here, nigga.
Spinal.
He said, I cracked my knee. I didn't play. Well, how did you average 1 point?
Right. It don't make no sense.
1.5 points. Get your goof ass out of here, Stephen A. You busted out, nigga. You capping.
Wait,
It
so
ain't-
did he play or not? What's 1.5 points?
No,
What do
he
you mean?
ain't never played.
So it was a total fib?
He said he cracked his knee and he had to go back home and use his mama insurance and all that sucker shit. Nigga, that's a cap.
He got her involved in the lie too?
He put his mama in the lie. That's a cap, nigga.
But yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to tell because, like in Poetic Flacco's video, it showed that he played one game, got 1.5 points average. then it showed another stat sheet to where he played 9 games and averaged 1.5 points. So who's to say? And then of course Stephan A Smith comes on his podcast saying, "Oh, I didn't play at all." So I mean, come man, yo, you got drop some comments down below. Let me know what y'all think, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop some comments down below. If you haven't, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share. And you guys, please be good to yourself. By all means, let's be good to one another. And I catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?